Good morning, everyone. How
Good
are you
morning.
this
Good morning.
morning? Welcome to FYI. I am
She's
back in the
back.
house. I missed you all tremendously. Oh my God, 3 days not been here. It felt like forever. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my goodness, man. So I could not wait to get back home. However, it
Mhm.
was quite an amazing
Tell us about it.
it's quite an amazing trip altogether because I was able to link up with the Bayesian FYI family. Man, so you missing in action, girl. The Bayesian FYI family had me out and about,
You.
meeting everyone, touching down on every port.
we should let the guys know though that it looks a little dark here
Yes,
because
it's not a little dark,
you
it's
know it's tremendously
tremendously
dark.
dark.
The Demerara Burmese interconnected system
Yes.
is still has tripped out again.
Here we are this morning with a tripped out system.
I mean, we were here ready, 5 to 8, about to go live. Clicks.
Blackout.
The blackout has come on,
And I don't
and
know.
our studio
And
lights
we
and our
don't know.
batteries are giving havoc. So, but we'll get it fixed. Hopefully, the DBIS comes back on because we want to hear all about Juretta's trip.
Well, most definitely. But I want to hear from you folks first. I want to hear from you how you've been, how you're keeping. I'm going to be giving some shout out to some folks that I met a little later on. But we definitely need to have a little more lighted in here right now. I know the guys, and we need the comments to be released for the guys to let us know how they are seeing us and hearing this morning also. So, guys, what's going on? Gavin Liverpool says, where is Sherrod? Sherrod there, dealing with the blackout and making sure that we are on this morning to speak with you. Dave
Dave
Durrell,
Durrell
I
and
see Barbara.
Barbara
It's
Higgins
Higgins, yes, in
and
the house. Hey,
Cheddar
Beatrice. Beatrice
Brown.
is welcoming me back. Thank you
Beatrice
so much.
Selby, yes, Juretta's back.
I am back. Oh my goodness, it's been quite 3 days without the
And
program.
where is Cecile? Because Cecile asks Juretta every day.
Oh, Cecile, wow.
Cecile Ogle.
Nice, Cecilia. You got my back. You're making sure they didn't talk me
They
away.
talk you away. Good morning, Donna David and Claire Chumley and
Yes, Marilyn, I'm back. I said the missionary
this is Joey De
Joey De
Freitas.
Freitas. Good morning, my sisters. I
I'm
am enjoying the show.
from the USA.
US,
Where's his brother this morning? He's here.
He's here. He's working
here.
hard. Oh my God,
He's working to
sweating
get
out in the background.
he's working to get proper lighting and so on and so forth in here.
Oh
But
my goodness.
we listen. We are just so happy to be here with you guys, irrespective of what the difficulties are. We really have to get a handle on
Oh, this
this electricity system.
My goodness. So this is my welcome home.
Okay,
Welcome
tell me
home.
about your trip, because if we worry about DBIS and whatever, we can
Welcome
just be very
home.
depressed.
Welcome.
Welcome home, Juretta.
The backup flickering. Welcome home, right? Just in case I got a little carried
Just in
away
case
with the
of
comfort.
where you were.
Guyana, yeah, well,
You're
thank-
back.
yeah.
You're back home.
I get the welcome. You could give us a little light back, GPL. It's all right. I understand. I'm back. I've realized.
that you are home. It's a job, bird out there. To pick up the line from Mr. Duncan. But tell us about your trip. We heard that you were able to meet with a couple of our FYI family members
Yes,
in Barbados.
it was so amazing, and I have to call some folks out by name. I know that as we settle in a little later, we're gonna run some of the photos of those people that I managed to capture. But Samuel Jacks, our absolutely amazing person, is on the program every single day, tries to catch all the programs. His wife Jewel, absolutely amazing. Jewel, I got a roti and curry. Oh, there it is. That there's Samuel. He actually came and saw me there at the hotel. And his
Respect
wife
and manners, Samuel. Respect and manners.
Yep, Guyanese working over there doing hard work. His wife actually makes roti and curry. Guyanese people work hard everywhere that they are.
We go. Yep,
So they're doing an amazing job over there, and I know that there were some other folks that I went out there and met the next day, actually yesterday before I came back. Yesterday morning, I had Deborah Clark came in person to meet me at the hotel, and it was so lovely to have her there. Oh my goodness, folks, you have no idea how heartening it is
It
for
is.
to
I
actually meet
know.
our support base and to get
Absolutely.
the feedback from them. We have
Absolutely.
a more a higher appreciation for ourselves, because some
Hmm.
morning you wake up and you come out here and you're not
And you're
sure how
not.
you're getting over to people, but when you have those one-on-one, those face interaction, it
Mm,
makes you know that people are really appreciating the work that you're doing. They're
right.
encouraging you to push forward,
Right.
and more importantly, you understand that the lives of so many persons depends on your advocacy altogether.
Oh
Oh my
my
goodness, Amanda, how
goodness.
has it been for you? Is it the same thing when
It's the
you meet
same thing.
persons?
It's the same thing. It's
Oh
the
my
same thing.
goodness.
When I was in London, we had folks that came to say, oh my gosh, we really appreciate the work that
Mm.
you and Sharon and Jorette are doing. When is Sharon going to come? You know, everybody's asked to Sharon.
All the time, you can't help it.
But the feedback in the US is tremendous. And it really is heartening because, there are times that you wonder, well, am I making a difference?
Mm.
You're human and you wonder, am I making a difference?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, does it matter what,
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing? And
Correct.
so to hear that, yes, it does, amazing, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing
What I
results.
have to
But how
say.
was the conference? Tell
Well,
us
before I
about
even
that.
get to that, I have to say, I mentioned that Deborah was there to meet
Mhm.
me, and she was there alongside Oren as well. And the
Oh,
evening before, I got to interact with a lovely set of Guyanese people that have their own businesses there. I know that there's one particular person. I think I remember the name Shauna Job's sister, and
yeah.
it's quite something to see how Guyanese still go and they link and they associate together and do what they have to do over there. And I must say to you guys, all of the persons that's joining from Barbados this morning, we have our consulate over
Yeah.
there in St. Michael's, and that it's open there. I had an opportunity to
Great.
actually visit
Good,
the
good, good, good.
consulate and to speak with the consul general acting as it is right now. And I must say, oh, I see a photo being pulled up there. We
Mhm.
would know this individual pretty well, guys. This is none other than the Minister of Education in
In
Anguilla.
Anguilla.
And you would remember that we covered some bit of her
Yeah.
when she had this
Yes.
more when she introduced a policy for hairstyle in
Hairstyle.
school, and she basically said that wigs and all of those things were more so accepted,
Yeah, she's the
So
youngest minister in the cabinet, actually.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mm-hmm.
was quite an interesting experience to meet with persons and to see what was going on there. But a conference, Manzo,
Mm.
as we continue in the blackout 101, welcome home again, right? This is ridiculous.
Girl,
Folks,
let me tell the people
folks.
about the conference. Let's tell the people about the
Oh my
conference.
goodness.
We can
Ha,
mambo.
this is crazy. But we're gonna mumble as we say. Guys, the conference it was basically it was a Commonwealth. Let me just start with who actually organized the conference. It was a
Mm.
Commonwealth in collaboration with UN Women and
Mm.
CWIL, which is Caribbean Women in Leadership, also in collaboration with the Australian government, and
Oh, good,
basically
good,
a
good.
conference put together to look at women in leadership, good governance altogether. And there was quite some startling data being given on the women activism in
Mm-hmm.
politics and all of those things all together. A lot as I was there going through the workshop sessions. It made me realize that in Guyana, a lot of what is happening here doesn't really get out there to certain bodies and institutions.
Mm-hmm.
We have been at pains talking about the fact about the comments in
Yep, in
Parliament
Parliament. Yep,
and
yep, yep,
those
yep, yep, yep,
derogatory
yep.
statements being made to women MPs, the fact that physical assault at the level of Parliament, and
Happen.
it was quite amazing to know that there are persons at the level of Parl America and all of those organizations that
Mm.
never heard of this.
Yeah, listen.
Right, and what is strange is that the Speaker of the House sits on the board of Parl America.
Right, because you see what is happening, and this is where we say to people, and we say to our viewers, this is why social media is so important.
Yeah,
Because there's a news blackout.
it is.
There is a news blackout from Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the UK, I advocated for this issue as well.
Mm.
And the ethics committee was like, "What?" I was like,
Yeah, they've
"Yes."
never heard it,
They've
right?
never heard it. I
So,
played the video because
mm,
we come with our receipts. I said, "This is what happened,"
yeah,
and they're like, "Is he still a member of the National
yeah,
Assembly?" Yes.
yeah,
Nothing has been done,
yeah,
and it really is. I'm sure you were shocked at how shocked they were,
yeah,
and just how
yeah. Yeah,
deplorable that
because
was.
we were at the conference there and we're sitting, we're talking about empowerment of women,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking like how ironic is this that we are here from. I am a representative of the Parliament of Guyana,
Mhm.
and what we're speaking about there
Mhm.
is something that we need to fix at our own parliament before we can even get to the people.
The other side had
You
anybody
know,
there?
yes, there was myself and Miss Gail Teixeira actually
Mm.
represented.
You think Gail
Um,
hear anything they have to say about
well, I
leadership
think
and governance? She is, after all, the minister with responsibility for parliamentary affairs.
yeah, and governance. I think that's how it goes. Parliamentary affairs and governance.
So
And I guess that's why she was
she was
the
there.
one there at the conference. And
Mm.
with everything that was said, I know that. Oh, I have to mention, guys, I was most uh, I was in awe of the fact that we had so many representatives, the caliber of the women there. But I was most proud, I have to say, I have a little bias. I was most proud of the fact that the president of CWIL, which was one of the bodies that entire conference and workshop was in collaboration with, the president of CWIL is none other than Anandi Trotman, who's Rafa Trotman's sister, right? So obviously we had some conversations, of course, and a member of CWIL actually spoke to myself and Mr. Shear before we left about having CWIL here in Guyana. So
good.
I told him we will be most happy to follow up on that to make sure that we lend our voices as women in leadership, Caribbean women in leadership.
Absolutely. And Ananda has been such a great advocate over the years.
Yes.
And these things are important. Networking and supporting women in leadership. The challenges for women in leadership are varied.
Yeah.
They're a little different from the ones that men have. And these organizations that focus on capacity building and psychosocial support and so on. Because like I said, I think very often we don't see our leaders as human beings.
Yes.
And particularly our women, we who are mothers, you have to juggle motherhood, you have to juggle your profession, you have to juggle being a politician, and then you have to juggle with shielding your children.
Correct.
From, because, people will say stuff. And so how do you shield it? So those types of bodies are so important. So I think we should really push for something like that.
Yeah.
In Guyana. And hopefully it could be a basis for some kind of reconciliation or coming together.
Most definitely.
It's so important. So important.
So I see Ingrid Crawford. It says, welcome back, director. Yes, it's blackout, guys. So the folks that's just joined us, we are here under the circumstances not chosen by us, but we are here in Guyana. I am back. My first day back is welcome to Guyana Blackout 101 for me.
I think it's the entire, maybe the entire Demerara system. Because as far up as the East Bank has blackout.
The East Bank has blackout too. Oh my goodness.
There's some parts of it. And guys, we could have put up a notice that said, well, we don't have power.
Well,
we're not coming, but we are here.
I think it is necessary for persons to see how we have the challenges that we have on a daily basis,
And you should share the live stream while you're at it, guys.
My goodness.
We've been doing a little better at the sharing.
Okay,
so we just want to encourage everybody to, we can't get directed to do this. But
we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. Don't worry. Sharon is in the back and he is working his hands and feet and everything to make sure that we can bring you this morning's program in the blackout.
Says we're glowing in the dark.
Oh, we are glowing in the dark, glow in the dark.
But there's a lot. I'm so glad that you're back. I'm happy for the trip. And I wanted to ask you if you noticed something that I noticed when I was at the Commonwealth Conference in the UK, that these institutions do not make a distinction between government MPs and opposition MPs,
Mhm.
that they treat members of parliament
As one.
as members of
Yeah.
parliament and as representatives of the people.
Correct.
Did you get that sense?
Well, what I did get clearly as that these organizations and institutions, they want to hear from us. They are desperately waiting and asking to hear from us, and this is something that I definitely will not be just leaving at that.
Absolutely.
And the follow-up will be going through, because no way under the sun we can have UN Women, Commonwealth, CWIL, which is the Caribbean Women in Leadership, and then the Australian government and all of these bodies coming together when it comes to gender equality and representation and lowering the rate of domestic violence and all of these things, and we not communicating with them all together. I think it is absolutely important for us to do our part in letting them know, these are the facts, so that we will be
follow through.
Yes,
follow through.
Most definitely, guys.
And advocacy. So what's happening this morning in the morning news, Director?
Well, first of all, I know this is Sherrod's thing, but I'm going to just jump ahead, but it's a little bit, and I'm going to say that we have papers, Manza. There you go.
From the Barbados nation.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may wonder, why is it that we do this?
Daily Nation,
and we ask for newspapers. You know, they give you an idea of the pulse of what is happening in a nation at any one point in time. And that is why it is so important to have independent media and media that are not afraid to, media houses that are not afraid to lay the case out there. So, you know, but what's happening in our neck of the woods?
Well, we have a lot going on in our neck of the woods. One of the things that I'm picking up out of the Barbados, no, not Barbados, you know, it's still stuck in my head, out in the morning papers, is the fact that an article coming out of the Kaitor News, and that is saying economic slowdown deepens in the Caribbean, and it says new ECLAC report says the average regional growth of 1.8% expected in 2022. So this is a lot for us to actually look at and take in. And guys, if you're hearing any noise in the background, just know that we are dealing with a blackout, a cascading shutdown, an accumulation of darkness, however it is that you put it over. But we are dealing with GPL in Guyana under the PPP administration. That is what we're dealing with, like it or not. That is what it is. It said, according to new estimates related today by the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, it says in a press release, the average growth rate of 1.8% is predicted for the region in this context, where the conflict in Ukraine has heightened inflation, increasing financial volatility and costs. The economies of South America will grow by 1.5%, Central America and Mexico 2.3%, while 4.7% growth is expected for the Caribbean economies, excluding Guyana. And I want persons to understand why they're saying excluding Guyana is because our when it comes to growth within our oil GDP, I keep saying that how we have to look for the difference between oil and non-oil.
The oil and the non-oil sector. Right? And you know, this kind of information is very important, because the slowing down of growth has so many implications for us. The challenge of this administration will be, how do they deliver relief to the ordinary Guyanese? Because our GDP can give you a false pulse because of the oil, the oil economy.
But we had so many reports on that, and we can go back to the fact that we had the experts and the economists coming out and say, you know, don't be confused with this a big GDP when it if the standard of living of the average family and household in Guyana is not changing. So a whole lot. If we're at the point in time that I can tell you, as we are right now, that our we can't get proper power in the morning. Everywhere is shut down.
Right.
We can't even come online properly. Then why are you telling me about this biggest GDP ever? GDP rate of being something that is accelerating and all of that. And this is what we're living with.
It's really, and we want to do this.
I'm struggling to.
No, we want to. It is important that we do this, because, you know, the lights are flickering, because this is what.
That's what we're dealing with.
This is like the living reality.
Yep.
So can you imagine what a small business
Mm-hmm.
that may depend on the freezer to freeze their
Yeah.
chicken that they just plucked and whatever else? Can you imagine what they're going through?
Yeah, most definitely. It's crazy.
It is it's the most distracting thing.
Yep.
And listen, we as a people have to demand more. And we cannot continue like this. Every day, some part of the city has blackout. Some days, the entire system is shut down. What are we
I
doing
think that's going
as a
on right
nation?
now. Based
We
on the
see,
comments that I'm seeing.
let us know
oh my-
where you are and if you have power. Because I see Mr. Musa says BV is in blackout.
Wow.
I know that the East Bank, some areas, they're in blackout. You know? You see, look, Rennie Paris is making an important point that the majority of Guyana's GDP is going to ExxonMobil, since 85.5% of all oil production goes to ExxonMobil.
It's a little more complex than that, Rennie, but I get your point, but it's a little more complex.
Yeah, but I
than
mean,
that.
I think he's
Yeah.
stating it simply enough for Guyanese to
Mhm.
understand. You know, the economists would know that it's far more complicated than that.
Oh my
But for
goodness.
Lester Williams and people like me, who are not the numbers people. But, you know, guys, this is what is happening. Let us know where you are. Let us know
Naomi
if you have
Joko.
blackout.
Naomi
says
Foss.
a man's a better power in 2025. Ali says so. Well, girl, Ali did said a lot of things.
But
But
I think Naomi has some rolling on the floor emojis that follows that comments. Rolling on the floor laughing emojis.
Eccles is in blackout.
Queenstown,
You
East
see,
Coast,
West Bank Demerara is in blackout. Let us know.
Stanborn said Brooklyn got light.
Brooklyn. Oh, Stanborn. No.
We felt that
You
one.
can't rub it in the face like that.
I felt it. I felt
right?
it when you said that.
Blackout in Diamond. West Ranvelt in blackout.
South in blackout.
South in blackout.
Lodge in blackout. It's everywhere got blackout. So we're coming to you from the blackout. You know, at some point in time, enough is enough with this. And no matter what is done, we have to come out and speak to the people under whatever circumstances
This is ridiculous.
Prevails and persists over time.
No, you had
New Amsterdam blackout.
Quarantine is in blackout.
Supernam blackout. This is what?
So clearly, the DBIS, the Demerara Berbice Interconnected System,
it's gone.
It's down again.
It's done.
Look at what her name says. Long Island got light.
Oh my God!
You're gonna rub it in our face like that. But you know, you see, Marlon is saying the entire.
Marlon, you're right. Guyana and blackout.
blackout.
That's what we're realizing.
Right?
French Guyana,
they got light.
My goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So guys, this is where we are in 2022. Unless you are able to invest in all kind of solar and backup power and so on. I just want to go back. You know, we have our program. You know, we have our points. So I just want to circle back because when we have these things to deal with, we have to make certain points and we can't escape it. We speak over and over about the fact that when you remove the technical experts from areas and you put in political persons into those institutions, you will have failure. You will have failure because they are not capable of delivering like the experts are capable of delivering. And this is what you're seeing here right now with the light. And I can't help but saying it. Jamaica,
somebody,
Gordon,
my goodness, man, to talk to us. This is your area.
Yeah, I mean,
you were there.
He did
yes,
a very good job of managing GPL over the years. It is the regression that you've seen in the last 2 years. Why is that?
Mm-hmm.
You remove a man, you bring a man back that you yourself fired.
Mm-hmm. And where are we now? As you can clearly see.
In the blackout.
Mm-hmm. And I speak about it, and we talk about accountability, oversight, good governance, best practice. All of that is washed down the drain.
I want the usual trolls.
Where
that are usually up in the program
in the blackout.
They
probably can't even come online. And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
We may have another 50 minutes.
You know?
Yes.
we want to be able to point out these things in real
Oh
time.
my goodness.
Quarantine has a blackout, and then they're gonna come and they're going to make some kind of silly excuse as to why in 2022 Guyanese still have to suffer blackout. Now let me make another point, Joretta. Kerosene. And we know that kerosene is just the mainstay as it relates to fuel for the poor and working class.
Yes.
You know the cost of kerosene in the gas station? It is the highest that it has ever been in 20 years.
My goodness.
It therefore means that those families who would normally go to get a pint of kerosene in order to be able to light their one burner stove with the wick or the fireside can barely afford that.
I want to make a point when you said kerosene and those families. You know, when there was the case of the 14-year-old that was missing, and Miss Brooms and I think it was Melly Mel that went to the home of that particular mother. One of the things, guys, and I always like to reflect on where I came from, and I think I'd always say that it gives me a different perspective on life of ordinary Guyanese altogether, because I am a representation of those people.
Absolutely.
I know when she was talking about the fact that she visited this woman's home and she had a kerosene oil stove and she had some rocks on it, and so. And I told my mother, right, it is as crazy as it is. And she was cooking, and then the kerosene oil finished while she was cooking. And Simone said, you know, they couldn't just leave it as that. They had to do something to assist, even if it's to get a proper stove for this woman. And, you know, the strange thing was when she said that about literally having rocks, I told my mother, what is amazing is that I knew exactly where the rocks were.
Yes. Yes,
you know,
exactly.
I didn't even have to think about it. I knew that she had the stove for such a long time that where you rest the pots, those things, they break and the tree
sprung.
Yes,
that hold the pot up.
Then you have to put the tree bricks there to hold up the pots. Because I know where it came from.
They also do it because it retains some of the heat.
Yes.
So that even if the kero is done, it can last longer.
My man, sir. We come through it.
We know. We didn't borrow a silver spoon in my mouth.
We come through it.
And then you had to get down to it and trim the wick.
Yes.
You had to open it, all the wicks
it's born out, all sawed up.
You had to pull it up. One by one.
Cut
so
it
we
off.
understand.
Yes.
We understand.
We know.
We
oh
understand.
My goodness.
I'm from Quarantine Barbies. Fireside, kerosene oil stove, because gas was a
so we understand the struggles of the persons right now that is facing those exorbitant prices in those cars, right? And I also want to make note that when persons talk about not having of reducing the excise tax and those things and all of that, when that was removed, it was never on kerosene, so they didn't impact the cost of kerosene by 1 cent.
Kerosene. I see this,
and I said this before.
So
people miss these things, you know.
People who you get some relief if you're driving, for example. But the poor man that got to light a kerosene,
we'll walk with a little bottle to the gas station to get some kerosene to buy. No relief for him. My goodness.
In blackout.
Bell West in blackout. Guys, the blackout is all over. This morning, we had to come to you because it's absolutely necessary for you to see the challenge that no person sometimes joins us from overseas and they just can't understand what we face in Guyana. But as it is right now, it appears like the entire country is in blackout. So we are here, we're talking to you folks. A lot of folks can't join us because they don't have any power to power the Wi-Fi.
You know what? I see Jack Dio bump Angel yesterday.
Yeah, I think he should get
one big bump.
I think he should get I think he needed Chris Rock special today.
I think you need to send him home. What is so wrong? We're gonna pull it up.
Let's pull it up.
The only sector leaving this country to upgrade. And
my goodness.
the only sector leaving this country to upgrade. And when I was the chairman in 2007, I was appointed by the head of the secretariat to represent Guyana to formulate the CARICOM Fisherfolk organization with all Caribbean country in Grenada. But Prior that, when I came back, when...
All right, Jill, not now. Please have a seat. You're just disrupting. Yeah.
Disruptive. You're just disruptive, Edgel. I think that's
why you don't be disruptive enough to get us some proper power. You and
goodness.
Mark Phillips. I mean,
I saw that video in a different light. I thought what happened there is that you had a citizen there. You're saying you're reaching with the citizen to hear their concern. He is expressing his frustration with a system that he wants to have fixed. The citizen is there. And Ezra couldn't care less about what he's saying.
There you go.
He couldn't care less because in his mind, he probably know that this is just for the show. This is just for the picture. So why should I be listening to him anyway? No, that is what was seen there.
That is what was said. Because this man is making a point.
Yes.
And notice who he is. He is the national representative for fisher folk.
Yes.
Right? He telling them I've been to Grenada and was it CARICOM and the fisher folk and so on, and Edgel could care less.
Yes, it was most ridiculous.
But it is, I like to say it's a metaphor. I like to use it's a metaphor for the way they see the Guyanese people.
Yeah.
But honestly, Jack, they are some fed up with the whole side of them.
Yes, I know they
He's all fed up with the whole side of them.
But there was a different video too, if we can go into that. There was a different video with a woman speaking, and she was very much passionate about what she said. Guys, if you can pull that up.
Yes.
Can you pull that up?
I saw that one where she called people by name.
President of the high, born and all, we make representation to that land, and we never just set up. We have to say it's a hero you put here. It's a priceless force you put here at Mimi to work fair. But you see, Mandela is a wicked man. I could say it right out. He is a wicked man. He only needs money. The poor people that need money, right? He knows about our issues 10 years before this. 10 years. I registered my swamp like 10 years ago. Ask them what they get for that land. And you ask them what they get. These people have no shame.
Wow. Manza,
people fed up.
Manza, I oftentimes say, and this is an example of what I say. Sometimes I come on the program and we have persons that they kind of draw a line as to who is suffering and who isn't. And I say it all the time. Don't feel because these people vote for PPP is a better rosy situation for them, right? They are fed up of what is going on because the persons went to them and they said that, oh my God, the coalition is the worst thing possible and they don't care about you. And they fed them that propaganda and they played with their minds. And now those very persons there are left to struggle with their children, struggle to the point that they sometimes don't know where their next meal is coming from. And they are fed up. And that is why that woman is speaking like that. And I have to say that I don't care who you vote for. You understand? As a Guyanese, she's there and she's suffering, and it is my job to say, I am proud of the fact that she has the courage to stand up and speak up.
But you see, this is where Guyana has an opportunity now, for the first time, where you are able to compare systems of administration.
Yes, my goodness.
What you will hear is this, and we're going to dissect this thing because what you hear is a certain segment of society. Very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, money flowing back in the streets because, of course.
In which streets?
The informal economy has now picked up.
Declaration of gold.
Right?
Right down.
Gold declaration down, which means there's more smuggling.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a lot happening. And so there's some elements of society that be like, oh, money flowing, we happy. The other segment of society, the ones that are public servants, that work a 9-to-5 job, that are the ones that are trying to live in the formal economy and to thrive in the formal economy, are the ones catching tail. So it depends on who you ask. Mm-hmm. The ones that like the corruption and could pass the money here and get a contract and could bribe this body and get a contract, they are happy.
Yeah.
And look, you're seeing it. the new UN CARICOM study.
Wow.
High food prices reducing citizens' ability to afford a nutritious diet.
Oh my goodness, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Our citizens can't afford a nutritious diet. Now, what is the drawback from that? You're more susceptible to disease because you can't feed your family. Your immune system is compromised. And so
more pressure on the healthcare system.
More pressure on an already
failing
healthcare
oh my
system.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
This is going to, and you use the word cascading.
Yes.
It is going to have a cascading effect. It's going to have a cascading effect on our economy. We got to be able to fix these issues, and we have to be able to demand that the government fix the issues. We are sitting here in blackout.
My goodness.
You tell me what is wrong with Mark Phillips and the guys who are responsible for electricity. To come and to say, David, how y'all do it? Albert Gordon, what is it that you did that allowed this thing to run so smoothly? What is it that you did? And so the reaching across the political aisle is what will help these problems to be solved. But the PPP, see, they are too proud and they can't admit that they don't have the know-how. And so what you're finding is that Guyanese continue to pay for this. Now, schools will be in blackout. Homes are in blackout. Businesses, unless they have a backup generator, they are in blackout. And we must be able to demand more and to demand better. The reality of it is that we have to begin to hold the government accountable. They have to be held accountable, Jaretta.
Wow.
Because if people can't afford food prices, can't afford proper nutrition because of food prices, where are we going?
My goodness.
Where are we going? This government has to find ways and means of getting relief. And I know this is your area, you're the economist, of getting relief directly to the citizens. Whilst we're on that, I want to bring to your attention what Mark Phillips said.
Tell me.
That the benefits of the economy will trickle down to the people.
Trickle down. The words trickle down, he said. I missed that. When did he say this?
He said it, we was cutting the ribbon someplace.
My goodness.
Where was it, Sharon? I don't remember.
Listen, Mark Phillips needs to stick to what he knows. Whatever that is, he needs to stick to that. Right? It's not economics. And he cannot speak to economic principles and concepts if that's not something he understands.
We were making the point that all of the studies show that trickle-down economics, it doesn't work.
It is a foregone conclusion. There is no modern system. I don't even say modern. There is no economy in this world in which it has actually materialized and have benefit, real value to the ordinary citizens. And the PPP knows this very well, but they think it sounds good for them to say, oh, we give to the rich, and eventually sometime along the way they're going to grow this conscience and they're going to say, you know, I probably have enough money for myself now, and this little extras we're going to let it go down to the ordinary person. In the budget, and I want to point this out, this particular one, when it comes to the whole concept of trickle-down economics, as a vivid living example to you guys. In the budget, one of the things that you would remember is that the cost of security services went up tremendously throughout all of the ministries, right? All of them. The cost of security services went up. So the questions naturally that came is like, did you employ more guards? No. Did you increase their wages? No. So basically, more monies were given to these companies, and not a cent was given to improve their wages, the wages of these guards. Who is the security guards? Sadly as it is, your grandmother, your mother, you know, your father, those are the security guards. And more so, they are persons, a lot of those persons are persons that are over 50 years old, some of them over 60 years old, in that system, going working exorbitant hours and all of those things, and they could barely earn a wage to survive at the end of the day.
But what you saw is an injection into security companies,
into the owners of the companies,
the owners of the companies who are their friends and who are their cronies. And so,
and it did not trickle down. That is the point.
It didn't trickle down
because they didn't grow conscience.
But okay, but we had Irfan Ali out there begging retailers.
Yes.
Look, we have cut the excise tax on certain items. Could you please pass the cost down? And Irfan misses a very important point. Mm-hmm. That for business people, their first obligation is to their bottom line and their shareholders. Mm-hmm. His obligation as president, however he got there, is to the people of Guyana.
Wow, yep.
Right? His first obligation is to the people of Guyana. And so he has to understand that he has to make, you can have bad Jack deal going on because you say, oh, the benefits will not be recognized soon. Mm-hmm. And they're recognizing it every day. IACHR recommends full reparations by state to Seneru villagers for human rights violations in 2013. 2013, folks. Under the rule of the PPPC administration. Full reparations. And you know this issue of reparations is a vexed one in Guyana.
Yeah.
Because there have been a number of calls for full reparations for the descendants of slavery to be able to access reparations. You know, when slavery ended, the slave masters were paid, but the slaves received nothing. Mm-hmm. And so it's very instructive that the IACHR is recommending full reparations to the villagers of Isineru. There are a couple of other villages as well.
My goodness.
That, are entitled to reparations. But these are a number of the issues that we're going to be following. Guys, as you know, the entire nation is in blackout. Yep. We have gone on for as long as our backup lights and power will allow us to. Mm-hmm. And we are going to have to, unfortunately, wrap up the program prematurely this morning.
We're going to go through some of the comments as we wrap up.
And midday, we're going to
deal with
We're going to have below the belt. We ain't going away. Mm-hmm. We're going to make it so that we have below the belt. And then 8 o'clock tonight, you join us for In the Ring. And who's this? Sylvia Allen is saying, good morning, beautiful ladies. Sylvia Allen, we are so sorry that we have to cut the program short this morning. But due to circumstances literally beyond our control, the entire nation seems to be in blackout. And so Basil Clark, Marilyn Ford, Sandra Burdison, we just want to thank you guys for joining us. And
my goodness, guys, like we said, we could have made a decision not to come on this morning and just post a notice that says, well, we were in blackout. But I believe it is absolutely necessary for persons to see what we're experiencing. And we understand at this point, because we came on, persons were able to comment from throughout the country that everywhere is in a state of blackout right now. There is not a single part that we are made aware of that has light so far.
There you go.
So I can tell you, when you said Supanam is in blackout and persons in New Amsterdam is in blackout and all of those things, you have an idea of what we're facing. But we made a decision to come on because I think it is necessary for a person to see and understand what we deal with, especially folks in the diaspora that is still in the AC with the lights on, right?
Or heat, because I hear spring is refusing. Spring has not sprung yet. I hear it's still very cold in your neck of the woods. But guys, we thank you so much for joining us. Remember to share the live stream. We want people to see what it is that the average Guyanese has to deal with on a daily basis.
And I am not going to be good at this, but I'm going to basically try anyway. So guys, as you bear with us, make sure that, like Amanda said, you share the live stream. Make sure that you do everything in your power.
Mingo Burn. Facebook user says, fantastic job, ladies. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for the support.
Naomi Drucker and Marie Selby, guys, thank you for having us and being with us this morning. And we want to encourage you to go out there.
And I think it is necessary for us to say at this point, you know, we can't do this without you and your partnership.
Absolutely.
At this point, I think we need to start looking at the generator, man.
I think we need a whole backup.
My goodness, this is crazy.
I think we need a whole backup generator with batteries of a particular capacity that will take us for a good 3 or 4 hours.
Yes.
So irrespective of what GPL decides to do with the Demerara Berbice interconnected system, we are still able to come and bring you credible and valid information.
Good.
So guys, thank you for joining us, Deborah
for the
Clark,
partnership.
Mark
As guys, I want to say, as you continue to partner with us, the only thing I can tell you right now is that you can message, of course, is the MMG. I think that is 627-6963. Also, we have Western Union, we have MoneyGram, we have Zelle.
Yep. Cash App,
you name it.
If you message that number, we will give you all of the information. And so, guys, go out there, make it a great day in spite of the blackout. Be the light, as Amanda Gorman said. Be the light.
Be the light. You know,
so,
there's always hope if you're brave enough to see it, right?
Man,
If you're brave enough to be it.
It's a lovely poem.
Guys, thank you so much for
all
the support, and we look forward for some light when we join you next. So have a good day. And please remember to share the live stream so that the many persons that were not able to join us because of the blackout and they won't be able to access internet, so that they will be able to see the program later. So thank you so much. And
have a great one, guys.
Bye.
Stay safe.